I designed my film review for LA Confidential and for The Unconventional Truth on Microsoft Publisher. I went onto File, Open New, and then I chose the template for a newspaper article. When on this, I then chose the colour scheme of Aspect, which you can see on the left hand side. I chose these as I thought the grey and the red kind of went well with the genre of film noir and neo-noir, and also it made it look quite professional. And when looking into websites such as Empire Online and other various film review companies such as Daily Mail, who do them on there, and Heat World, I saw that they use quite a mixture of dark colours and light colours as well to highlight different areas of the review. Once I did this, I opened up the file that I had, which is the first screenshot you can see here, and on the bit on the side, in the template for the special points of interest, I was starting to write the different points that I was deciding what I was going to put in each different boxes and where specific areas were going to go. So in the special points of interest, I decided to turn this into a area on which would have like when the film was released, the certificate for it, who the directors, screen producers and screenwriters were, and also the running time and plot of the film. So I found out the information I needed from the internet, and I posted this in here and wrote the plot in there also for the film. And I changed all the colours to make it match with the background that was behind it, because I wanted to have a mixture. I wanted to have black as the main font because it would stand out more against the white and the red areas of it, and the places that were kind of with a black background, such as the top bit, I changed to white. So the in cinemas bit, I found this because when I'm looking at Empire Online, I found many different page titles, and this was one of them, and I thought it worked quite well because it seemed quite up to date and modern. It also showed like the audience who the new release is for in the cinemas. I think it worked best. I then got the poster for LA Confidential and put it on the right side of my film review, which you can see here. And within the template that was surrounding it, I wrote in different columns my film review that I wrote myself. I decided to have it in Times New Roman font because I felt this was kind of like a standard good font, and it seemed to be the easiest to read and the most kind of straightforward font to have for a film review without it detracting too much from what was going on around it. And the fonts I had for the rest of it were Franklin Gothic Medium and Franklin Gothic Heavy, and I varied this from different boldnesses, and I underlined some bits also, just to make certain points I wanted of the film review to stand out and others not to stand out as much. The next screenshot you can see is the bottom of my poster once I'd finished writing my film review in it and putting the poster in, and the first box on the left hand side, and this kind of shows the bottom of it. And I decided what I wanted to do on the bit. I changed the boxes on the left hand side in the grey area, and I wrote in this issue. So I found this on Empire Online also. So I was going to write, as you can see, the different names of different kind of page headings they'd have on, so it made it look like a more realistic review and page in a magazine. And then what I decided to do with the 3 boxes with the heading at the bottom, which was kind of more towards the right hand side, I decided I was going to put 3 different films in here that are of different genres. So I think I've decided to put Brick in the first one, and then I put Paranormal Activity in the second one, and Brave, which is a children's film, in the third box. So it showed contrasting genres. So it showed the magazine wasn't just aimed towards one specific genre, it was to all open film reviews. And I was just going to put a small kind of verdict on the film and what I thought of it, and then a rating out of 5 stars. Okay, so this is what I did next. I added my name at the bottom of my film review, and I put it in red and in uppercase bold letters to make it stand out the most. And underneath this I did a small verdict of what the film and the storyline of LA Confidential is about, and what I think of it myself. Then next what I did, I found an image of a black star on Google Images, and I saved this into my files and opened it again into Publisher, and I made it to the size I wanted it to be and just placed it in the right hand side of the verdict box to give it a star rating out of 5. Next, what I did, I added in the small film reviews and verdicts of the 3 films that we're going to put in the bottom. I found pictures from Google again and saved these and put these back into the file and added their names in Franklin Gothic medium at the top of it. And I put barriers in between because I thought this made it look more professional rather than having it all perfectly in the boxes. I thought it made it look more stand out on the page. I also gave these a rating out of 5 stars by using the same technique that I did for my own verdict box of LA Confidential. So this is, and then what I did after this, I added in the part you can see, it says a sensual take on a classic film noir, one for the men. I did this, I wanted to take, it was like taking a big quote from the magazine and highlighting it to make it stand out more towards the audience and giving them kind of a main inkling into what they can expect from the film. And I put this in red also because I thought it detracted from the review itself and stood out more on the page, but without taking too much away from making people want to read the review itself. So here is making the second part of my double page spread of the film review, which was on our film The Unconventional Truth. I used the same layout as I did for the first one I did, and did it on Publisher again, but I wanted to do it in kind of like a different style, so it didn't exactly mirror that of the one for LA Confidential, because it would make it more interesting and more realistic. So what I did, I got the film poster for our film and I pasted it in the top quarter, kind of half a page of the page itself, and then underneath this I used the same font again of Franklin Gothic Heavy to create the title for The Unconventional Truth, and I put it in black so it contrasted against the white background and also the red from the poster. I then put kind of a kind of a slogan in underneath it, which kind of is a way of giving the audience an inkling on what they can expect, and kind of like a punchline to make them more interested in to read the article. After this, on the left hand side again, I repeated what I did in the other film review by putting the release date, the certificate, the directors, producers and screenwriters on the left hand side, as well as putting the cast in there and the running time and plot of it. This is all stuff that I made myself and decided for the certificate of 15 and the release date, and I'd used kind of the same colours and boldness and font as I did for LA Confidential, so I made it continuous throughout the page. Next, what I did, I created 2 separate text boxes and I wrote my review in there, and I decided to have the beginning letter for the word pitched, the P in a larger font style, because I wanted to make it stand out more, and I noticed that this is what a lot of companies do on their magazine review pages, so I thought I'd make it look more interesting by adding this. I also added my name at the bottom as I did for the previous page to make them sure that the audience know who wrote it, so if they want to look for further information into other reviews that I've done, they can do. Underneath this, on the far right hand side, I also did a verdict box once again of my personal view of the film and an overall kind of decision of what rating I got out of 5 stars and what you can expect from the film. I used similar fonts as well as I did for the LA Confidential to make it once again match up, look more continuous. Next, what I did, I added in a more highlighted area again as I did for the previous film review, and I put for this one, art house at its finest, low budget but high end in all other ambiences, easily the standout film of 2013. I think this kind of summarised my feeling towards the film and made the audience want to go and see it more due to the strong wording and positive feedback on it. And overall, I think, as you can see from my final poster here, film review page, I'm really happy with the outcome. I think the colour schemes I've used worked really well, and the way in which I've written and positioned the different pictures and different boxes of the film also worked really well, and it makes it look kind of believable and realistic and just like something you'd see out of a film review page. So I'm happy with my progress of it and how far I've come to be able to create my own film review page of both LA Confidential and our film The Unconventional Truth.